This is Gail Newton. I'm a Living Out mentor with Confidently Out. And this is the third segment of our Detours series. And now, if you'll give me a moment, humor me. I'm going to recap kind of what we've been going through. You know, there's all kinds of detours that we take while we are going through our life's journey. There's a detour that seems to be running parallel with the highway, and it never merges into the main flow. And then we have a detour that when we take off the main road, it becomes so complicated, so complex that it's absolutely exhausting. And then we got a detour that, dadgummit, we're on it so long that it's our main road now. Now, as we're traveling, we have our landmarks. And you know, our landmarks are really those familiar features that are kind of like comfort food, and we identify with them. And as we're traveling, we know just how far we've gone. We know that we got a thumbs up going this way or doing that. But then something, when we take another exit, another decision, another detour, then some of those landmarks aren't working for us anymore, and they become like landmines. We become really disgusted with having to deal with the same old stuff, and it's causing us, quite frankly, one of my favorite sayings, hemorrhoidal stress. Now, I am telling you, when you have those landmines, you get absolutely fed up and disgusted with having to deal with them, and they're not working for you anymore. Then we come to an intersection. Now, when we come to an intersection, you know, you gotta, let's say we're stopping, and you gotta make decisions. Are you gonna keep on going the same way that you've always gone? Or are you gonna turn and take a different street? Now, when you turn and take a different street, that means you got some adjusting to do. You got to take care of some business along the way. When you're making decisions, I like to use a 3-question process, and it works in most situations. These 3 questions are really simple. It goes, what am I doing? What's working? And what isn't? And then I make a decision based on what has the greater values, what can I take care of, and it identifies the issues that I need to address. Let's put this into a scenario, and I'm going to really simplify this scenario because it can be very complicated. And let's say you're married for 4 years. Now, you're married, here you have this wonderful man, this husband, but you know, something tells you that you really are living a dual life. You are gay. You know you're gay, you feel it, you've been suppressing it, you've been denying it. But then all of a sudden this woman enters your life. You may not have done anything with her, but I tell you, she is monopolizing your thoughts. Your heart's fluttering, you get irritated when you have to be with your husband, you'd rather be with her. And you are on a roller coaster ride of emotions, of feelings, and you are very anxious. So now you're trying to decide, my God, what am I going to do here? Well, let's look at those 3 questions. And you're going to say, what are you doing? Well, you're living in a marriage while you're knowing you're gay. A lot of people do this. And then they're going to ask, what's working for you? Well, shoot, you've got dual income, you've got protected rights, you've got benefits. You're living a normal life according to everybody else. Then what's not working for you? Well, you're living a dual life. You're exhausted. You're not with the person that you really want to be with. You may be manifesting some sort of illness like insomnia or ulcers. Things aren't feeling in sync. So now you're going to be making some decisions. And like I said, I'm simplifying this because this actually is quite a process. It's a progression of getting to this point of making a decision. One, you're going to decide, well, all right, Am I going to keep on trucking the way I've always been? I'm going to stay married. I'm going to just deal with these feelings. I'm going to stay undercover. Or am I going to make a decision and tell my husband I'm gay, and then decide what we're going to do about it? You know, there are different arrangements. I'm not going to say there aren't, but there are different arrangements. Or, you know, there's also this other one. You stay married and have an affair, but I'm going to tell you that you got to be prepared for the consequences. All right, so you're going to make this decision, and it is your decision. I'm not going to tell you what it is right here. You know, we deal so much with what everybody else is thinking and doing and looking at us, and we put a lot of time and effort into this, and you know what? Why are we spending so much time on thinking about what other people are thinking about us and what we're doing? Do you know, I was in therapy years ago, and the one thing I remember really walking away with is that therapist saying, other people's opinions are none of my business. I can only take care of mine. I can only take care of me. I can't control anybody else. So then I'm going to ask you, why then would we give so much power to other people when we can't even control it? Then when you're looking at the way you are right now, and you're looking at what is really guiding me, what is telling me how to live, what I should do, it may be some old world conditioning and rules that you still are trying to apply. And it might be time to do some mental house cleaning, just like you do with your closets. You get in there and you throw stuff out because it doesn't fit anymore. Well, that's what you do with the conditioning. What isn't fitting anymore? What is not working? And then install new data, new programs that fit with who you are. And when you're reprogramming, remember this. And I mean, this is really kind of hard because we go right back to others. You know, when we're in charge of the change in ourselves, we're okay with it. We are learning, growing, extending beyond our boundaries. We are making the changes because we made the decisions to change. But remember, other people are having to deal with the changes you made, and they may not like it. You may come up against some resistance from other people because they want you to stay the same old way. So I'm going to let you know something that was a hard lesson for me. Do not expect approval and seek it from other people. Let them get to know the real you, the new you. You know, there's one thing that I really believe, and I want you to realize this as well, that if you are denying how you should be living, then you're really denying the world on experiencing the real phenomenal you. And you are the one that can do so much more for yourself and for other people just by being you. All right, next session will be putting all of this process together so you know how the detour process works. And in the meantime, go to Competent Layout, sign up for our mailing list, and get your free copy of the Stepping Out ebook. And I will see you next time. Thank you.